What's going on, everybody? Nick Ottenbacher, your Metro Detroit real estate connection. Today, I'm going over the pros and cons of living in Metro Detroit. So if you have any plans of moving to the Metro Detroit area, you're gonna wanna watch this video, and this video starts now. Every single week, I'm uploading new videos about living, dining, buying, selling, sleeping in the Metro Detroit area. So if you have any plans of selling or buying real estate in this area, you're gonna wanna hit subscribe. And I absolutely love when people call me, text me, email me about buying or selling in Metro Detroit. So if you have any plans of buying or selling in the Metro Detroit area, call me, text me, email me, or even send the pigeon carrier, because I'd love to work with you. So I'm gonna start with the pros of living in Metro Detroit. And number one is the amount of lakes in this area. We know we've got the Great Lakes in Michigan. You know, there's other larger lakes like Lake St. Clair, but there's also hundreds of lakes scattered throughout Michigan. I personally have always grown up on the lakes. My dad owns a place about 2 hours west of Metro Detroit, and we go up there, you know, maybe 5 or 10 times every single summer. We have, you know, jet skis, pontoons, volleyball, and that's the best part of my childhood and something I absolutely love going to. So one of the biggest pros of living in Metro Detroit is the amount of lakes and outdoor summer fun. Another pro of living in Metro Detroit is the median home price is only at about $160,000. So that means the further you get out from Detroit, there's a ton of affordable housing options. There's gonna be options within, you know, a 30-minute commute of downtown Detroit where you could actually purchase between the $50,000 and $100,000 mark. And if you go as far out as an hour drive, you're gonna be able to find homes that are, you know, 12 to 1,500 square foot with acreage, with privacy, all within driving distance of most people's workplaces. And there certainly are suburbs where there is a higher price point, but the difference when you're buying here in Michigan, that $2 million just goes so much further, where you can find homes with 4,000 or 5,000 square foot versus, say, California, where you're spending that $1 million for a 1,200 square foot ranch. Another pro of living in Michigan, we get 4 true seasons. So we get to experience the beauty of, you know, snow during Christmas, and we also get, you know, the fall leaves where everything's changing colors. We get a few months of the rainy spring, and then we also get a few months of a more mild summer and what I think is the perfect weather, where it's about 80 degrees out. And living in Metro Detroit, there's always a ton of events going on. In the winter season, you know, you can always go ice skating, snowmobiling. In the fall, there's always apple orchards, haunted houses. I think one of the best reasons of living in Michigan in general, you're only a couple hour drive where you can make an awesome trip for yourself. Just last weekend, me and my girlfriend, we went up to Northport, which is all the way at the top of Michigan, right by Traverse City. She was shooting a wedding, so I had a day to go skiing and hit some of the hills up there. And it only took us about, a 4-hour drive to get up there. And it was a really fun, refreshing vacation for both of us. In one neutral part of Michigan, because I personally don't smoke, but the legalization of marijuana. I know there's a ton of health benefits, and a lot of people like to use it for recreational use. And just last year, marijuana became legalized, and I think that's something, that will help benefit a lot of people. Ever since it became legal, I haven't noticed any difference. I know people think that, folks are going to be stoned all the time and, potential driving hazards. So I haven't noticed any difference, but I do think it is a positive for people that like to use it recreational, or people with the health benefits from using it. Now moving on to the cons of living in Metro Detroit and living in Michigan in general is the bad roads. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, it seems like there's always construction. And when that construction hits, there's always a ton of traffic, especially on those major highways. You're looking at 75, 94, 696. There always seems to be traffic going on, and especially during those peak traffic hours, your morning commute, and then your drive home. Sometimes when there's traffic, it takes so long to get from point A to point B. There's obviously, ways to get around that. I've personally noticed my commute into work, if I leave just 30 minutes earlier, my commute time is, about half of what it would typically take to get into work. So it's mostly just kind of working around your schedule. I've made that choice where I, leave 30 minutes earlier to an hour earlier to avoid any traffic. And I just work out before I go into work. So a lot of times I think there's ways around it, but it's just a matter of, being more flexible with your schedule. And another con of living in Michigan is the harsh winters. So typically we're gonna get about 3 to 4 months where there's snowfall, where it's in freezing temperature. But overall, there's a lot that can be avoided. If you really do hate the winters, having push to start obviously helps where your car's already warmed up. Having somebody else shovel your snow helps go a long way. There is also beauty with these long, harsh winters. You're always getting a white Christmas, more than not. There's a lot of outdoor activities that you couldn't necessarily do without that. Sledding, snowmobiling, ice skating, and a lot of times for the kids, they'll get days off where you get to spend more time with your family.